Hello, Easy Dating Coach community. I am so excited to be with you. And we've got a fun one in store with some absolutely brand new content. Before we get started, I always love to hear who I'm speaking with. So go in the comments and put your name and put where you are located. I will show you how it's done. I am Mike Goldstein, and I am in Los Angeles, coming at you live about 2 blocks from the beach and without air conditioning, so you will see me sweating later. I've got the fan on. Let me know if it's bothering you. I can turn it off. But otherwise, folks, excited you're here. Once again, go put your name and location in the comments, and we'll even put you on the screen and show you off. All right, today's topic, what we're doing is 4 simple metrics to see if your relationship is headed somewhere. So format of today is we're gonna bang that content out in 5 to 10 minutes real fast. And then I wanna leave a ton of room for you folks to do some Q&A with me. And you can do Q&A with yourselves also in the comments. Because I'm sure we've got some people that can help you on here as well, not just me, and I can always use the help. Hi, Diana. So for you that just popped on, I'm looking to get your name and where you're located. I'm Mike in LA. G. Moni, New Orleans, NOLA, baby. Love it. One of my best friends got married there. Lori from Florida. Oh, I got to put these on the screen. Oh, Lori, I like your picture. That is nice. Nola. Where else is everybody from? Gina, PA. I used to be your neighbor. I grew up in New Jersey my whole life. You think I have an accent, guys? Is that the New Jersey accent? New York. I used to date a woman in Buffalo, Diana. You're welcome. P-Town. Good food in Pittsburgh. Oh, Philippines. Very nice. All right. We're going to get to it. Julie, nice to see you. 4 simple metrics to see if your relationship is headed somewhere. Don't mind me, folks. I'm going to be looking at my notes over there. I want to read something before I tell you the metrics. Dating is not a perfect science, although I love making things black and white. If you've been watching my content, you know that's what I do. Dating will always be gray. So although the following advice puts metrics in place, I suggest you use these as a guiding force. But ultimately, I want you to make your own decision on what you think is best for you. That was my caveat before I rock and roll into this. But I will say most of the time I'm right. All right, Minneapolis. Michelle, nice to see you. Sharon Sharp, nice to see you. Joyce, I'm in SoCal. Thanks for stopping by. All right. All right, dating timeline. So I'm going to go over the 4 simple metrics real fast, and then I'm going to talk about each one. So first, I want you to, if you're taking notes, write this down. This is huge. First one, 6 dates is first metric. Second metric is at 60 days. Third metric is 6 months. And then fourth metric is at 2 years. So I'm going to repeat that so you can write it down, and then we're going to talk about why. 6 dates, 60 days, 6 months, 2 years. I wish the fourth one could have been a 6 so it was easy to remember. 6 dates, 60 days, 6 months, 2 years. Boom. All right. So here's what you're going to do and analyze at each metric to see if the relationship's still progressing like you want it to. All right. Now, because we're all not mind readers, when we don't know what a guy's thinking, here's what I suggest up until 6 dates. Do not have sex. Reason being is I don't get to private coach all of you. So I want to group coach all of you right now. If the guy keeps asking you on dates without getting sex, without getting laid, and he keeps asking you to date 6, most of the time it's because he likes you and he's interested in you. Because he can go find a woman, if he's just looking for sex, that'll be a lot easier than going on 6 dates. There are other women that will have sex with him sooner. So I love this metric to see if he gets you to 6 dates. Now, furthermore on this, I see women getting excited. He's texting me every day. He's calling me every day. Cool. How many dates have you been on? 2. Think like a dating coach. I don't care that he's calling and texting you every day. That's great. The first time a guy hits my radar when I'm working with my private clients, when he really hits my radar, is date 6. I've been doing this for over 10 years. A guy and you need to get on these dates to build real connection. If you're texting every day, that's great. But real connection, you have to keep going on these dates and progressing. Now, oh, Hershey girl, Jersey, let's go. Are you in Hershey? Where my favorite soccer players from? One of my favorite soccer players? Oh, hi, SoCal. Boom. Laura, you're the best. That is right. I'm going to leave that up here for a minute. All right, so we got our 6 dates. We need to be strategic about these 6 dates. Date 1, I just had a client do this. She was enamored with this guy, was all excited. They've been doing some self-improvement classes. They did Landmark, and then all of a sudden he asked her to hang out. So it's felt like they've already known each other, which they do. Then date 1, they're all excited. They spend 4 hours together on this first date. And she comes back and she calls me. She's like, Mike, this could be it. Like, I had the best time. And unfortunately, guess what happens? The guy doesn't reach out so much. So I want you to be a little strategic about your first date. Cut your first date off at an hour and a half-ish. Do not go much longer than this. This is the perfect time. And even if at the end of an hour and a half, you're just like, and this is the first date of the last 8 dates where you're like kind of big-eyed and you're like, I like this guy and this doesn't happen often. You need to get out of there. This needs to be part of your strategy. If you want to get to 6 dates, which is our first metric to seeing if he likes you, you've got to keep him wanting more. If you do a 4-hour date, 6-hour first date, what happens? He starts getting tired and he feels like he knows a lot about you and he just got a big aspect of you in the 4 hours and he didn't get to chase you and he just leaves being tired. And when he's tired, he's not like, I need to plan date 2. He's like, I need to go relax and rebuild testosterone, because we know a man, when he talks for 4-6 hours, he builds a lot of estrogen. So think about that. Even though he might have had the greatest time ever, do you want him leaving exhausted and you're probably tired too from a long date? That's not the right strategy. He needs to leave wanting more, just like you're wanting more. After an hour and a half, you're like, whoa, this was so exciting. I can't wait to see him. And he can't wait to see you. So we need to start implementing that. Hi, Julie. Hi, P. Mickles. Lori, do me a favor. We're going to do all the questions once I'm done with this. So ask me this again in a minute and hold me accountable because I'm going to forget. I have a bad memory. All right. Before we keep moving, one thing to say. If you would like some help from me, in the description, scroll down a bit, click the description, sign up for a strategy call with me to talk about coaching. I have the most successful program in the entire country at taking a single person, putting them in a relationship. Match, OkCupid, and eHarmony all work with me because I have the most successful system. You'll see a lot of my videos. I don't talk about online dating. Reason being is you folks don't want to click and don't want to watch it, but that is what I invest at. So if you'd like coaching and you'd like help, the last 14 of my marriages have come from us messaging a guy using my precise system. So if you want access to that, and more importantly, not just access, I'm more than happy to tell you at a high level how it happens. And I'll tell you specifically how it happens. The problem is, if I don't do it with you and help you with every step of the process, it gets messed up a little bit. When you do private coaching, I do everything with you. I log into your Match account. I log into your account. We share screens on Zoom, and I do everything with you. So you can't mess up, and you got a partner. So if you're tired of dating by yourself, come talk to me. Let's date as a team. Wouldn't that be more fun? We can laugh at the bad dates and celebrate when you have good ones and when we're getting somewhere. All right. That was my spiel. Let's go back to it. Okay. 6 dates. So 6 dates. He keeps showing up. He keeps asking you on dates to 6 dates. The second metric, see if I can grab this from Lori. Oh, yeah, is 60 days. All right. Why is it 60 days? I keep seeing this love bomb thing. You don't know what love bombing is. The guy comes on super intense, calling you, texting you every day. Sometimes he even makes it to date 6 plus. And so what happens? Maybe you start having sex at date 30 days or whatever you feel comfortable. Let's call it 30 days. And then you, for the next 2 or 3 weeks, you keep having sex. Now you're at day 50, day 55. All of a sudden, he winds off. He started disappearing a little bit. His pace changed in how often he's texting and calling you, which is not good. The reason he did this is maybe he was seeking that attention. Remember that butterfly feeling you get when you're really excited when you meet a new person? There's some men out there that love this feeling. It's like he took his fishing rod out, he got you, he's got you on the hook, and now that he's got you, he's like, oh, I got you. I want to do that again. Some men live off that high, and maybe they realize it, maybe they don't. But that high is silly. They're just going to keep doing it over and over again. What about some of the highs you can get from long-term partnership? Anyway, they're going to do that. So my next metric is 60 days. So if he's still around at 60 days and he's doing the next thing, which is he asking you to be exclusive? That's progressing the relationship. If he's doing that around 60 days, at latest 90, then he's focused on you and he wants to move the relationship forward. Now, when you figure out your boundaries, and this can be a little gray, I love to make it black and white. But if you figure out that at 60 days or 90 days, whatever works for you, you're going to break up with a guy if he doesn't ask you to be exclusive, I love that. Now, you can be a little gray if something comes up, maybe, a death in the family or a hospital, something, and you want to extend, and he's still showing up, texting, calling you, fine. But be careful. A guy that really likes you, even when someone's in the hospital or something's happening, he still reaches out because one, it's a high priority of relationship for him. And two, he's seeing that you could be that person. And he knows all the valuable women that are watching this have other stuff going on. And if he doesn't show up, Joe down the street gets you. So a smart man that really likes you, even when busy, when things are coming up, finds a way to get a hold of you. So I love the 60-day, see where we're at. All right. See what this has to say. What if it's long distance, just had 2 dates, but he lives in Rhode Island? Great question. So even if, let's say it's an hour and a half to drive to each other, you still stick to a pretty short date. Your hour and a half may be 2 hours. And maybe your first date's over Zoom. The other piece of this, Lori, is try to date local. Dating's hard enough. It's a lot easier if we find someone who lives close. So first date, hour and a half, maybe second date's 2 hours. Maybe the third date becomes a little longer. All right, let's go back. And team, if you have questions, just pop them in the comments. We're on number 3, so we're almost done with my content here. So I'll be really happy to answer all your questions. All right. So 4 simple metrics to see if a relation is headed somewhere. We've got 6 dates. We've made it to 60 days. Number 3 is 6 months. All right. At 6 months, we're either going somewhere or we're not. We've gotten to know each other quite a bit at 6 months. Now, he's either decided it's not going somewhere and maybe he doesn't want to, he wants to keep you in limbo. You're good. Maybe you're not marriage material. Maybe you're not life partnership material, but it's good. It's easy. You're not bothering him. You have sex with him. You can go to dinner. You can do all these things. And every woman watching this doesn't deserve that shit. Do you want to be the it's good woman? No, you want to be the great woman, the queen. So, how do we know if we're the queen? At 6 months, he should really be talking about future plans in a big way. Hey, when we put our house together, when we buy a house at some point. Hey, when you meet friends, or if you've already met them, when you meet family, I want you to meet them. Let's set this up. Maybe they live across country. Hey, why don't we do a trip? I want you to meet them. I want you to meet this person. I've got this wedding coming up. I want you to go to this. Down the road, could you imagine the type of house we would have? Hey, you're 61. When are you planning to retire? What do you want to do post-retirement? Hey, you're already retired. What can we do in our retirement together? Hey, your kids. Hey, what's happening on Christmas? Are we going to combine forces? So a lot of these discussions are starting to happen. If none of it's happening, then maybe you're just the good woman, not the great woman, not the queen. Team, does that all make sense? Any questions about that in the comments? All right. No assistant. I'm doing this myself, so bear with me. Oh, no. A visiting guy. That sounds like a waste of time. Hi, Monica. Tucson. I need to go over there. I haven't been to Tucson. All right. Last one. 4 metrics to see if your relationship is headed somewhere. The last one is 2 years. This one is a huge one. There's like the 2-year cliff that maybe you didn't know about. At 2 years, this is where like you've seen 8 seasons. You really kind of know this person, hopefully at this point. And now, after 2 years, what was new, what was exciting is no longer new, no longer exciting at all. And now you may actually be getting bored with each other. So this is really interesting. Is your guy cognizant of the fact that this happens? A lot of you have been married before and maybe realize the transition. So the first 2 years should be easy breezy, having lots of sex, having lots of fun. And then after 2 years, it starts transitioning from, it's still romantic, but it starts transitioning more towards a friendship, right? Like this is your best friend. And so as the best friend, and maybe intimacy really comes together in terms of spending a lot of time together, a lot of talking, a lot of texting, phone calls, that form of intimacy where you're best friends kind of inversely kind of makes your sex life not quite as spicy because there's so much, let me rephrase this. The unknown makes sex exciting, right? The known makes sex less exciting. So when you really know this person, there's less mystery. Now, there's some caveats to this, of course. For those folks that have been married before, maybe for 20, 30 years, that parts of the marriage were happy. Sometimes at year 12, right, you're having amazing sex because you can start really pushing the boundaries of what you want. But part of it for some folks is just really combining lives and having less separation, which causes sex and that form of intimacy to degrade. Does that all make sense? Any questions about that? That can be a little confusing. Thanks, Kim. Oh, thank you. All right. So the 2 years, let me go back up, grab this thing. Oh, I lost it. There she is. All right, 2 years. You want to see, is this guy emotionally intelligent? Realizing there's a shift in the relationship. We're shifting towards this great friendship. And maybe we're losing a little bit of the excitement of the chase and the newness. And this pivot, are we adjusting to it well and we're excited about it? And now we really want this to keep building this great best friendship? Or do we want to go back into the dating pool and experience that whole 2 years of excitement again? Because some men are craving that rush. So this is really important. And something, especially with a great partnership, that maybe you want to discuss so that both parties are understanding this is the transition, this is where it's headed. And you can even have that discussion, at the 6-month mark or way before then. Here's how I view relationships. Here's what I've seen happen. And a lot of you have been married before for a long time, so you've seen this happen in your marriages where it went from, exciting to friendship, and then probably degraded somewhere, and then you guys broke up. But we need a plan for that. I used to talk a lot about upfront contracts, which is not waiting for shit to hit the fan, but more planning for it. Hey, at some point, we're going to really know each other, and we're going to transition our relationship to something a little bit different. Is that something you want? Do you want to be best friends? Do you want that intimacy, or do you still want a little bit of separation? And if so, how are we going to handle all this? All right, my friends, let's do some questions, because I'm going to be summing this all up, and then we're going to get to it. So 4 simple metrics to see if your relationship is headed somewhere. Once again, we're doing 6 dates, 60 days, 6 months, 2 years. If you can get through these progressions happily, you're in good shape. All right. Yes, Lori, this is perfect. Perfect time to discuss. We have a game plan. Yeah, Kim, thank you for sharing that. That's what this is. There's a honeymoon. The 2 years is the honeymoon. So we got to be careful. And let me also say this about the honeymoon. Make sure you're getting a honeymoon. If in the first 2 years, there's arguments about different values, about, seeing things differently. Like, for example, the last woman I was dating, I wanted to go have some guys' weekends here and there. And she basically said, no, that's not allowed. And for some men, that's fine. Maybe they don't want that. But for me, I wanted that. And so we saw 2 different values right there. And that came up in the first 2 years during the honeymoon. So if I was smart and listened to my own advice, I would have removed myself from that relationship, because we had different values on what we saw as ultimately, although that's a specific example, this came up time and time again with really different values in the terms of believing that there could be 2 separate lives, and believing that you can trust someone to be with friends and not cheat, to not look elsewhere. So there was 2 pieces there, right? Different values in terms of having separate things, and also, trusting your partner. So where I was headed with this, if you're noticing in the first 2 years that there's a lot of bumps in the road, or a decent amount of bumps, there should not be. Your life partner that's going to be able to last for the next, 30 to 90 years should be smooth in the first 2 years. Then maybe some things could come up after that where you're shifting to friendship. Maybe sex could degrade. Maybe for our younger folks that are having kids, dealing with raising children, that can cause some struggle and some tough things. You're not sleeping. If you're older, maybe illness. That can cause problems. First 2 years, honeymoon. Get rid of, and this is gray, but I would suggest probably getting rid of if there's fighting and things going wrong. Okay. Julie, that is loaded. We're going to need more information on what this looks like, where he's staying, what your plans are already, without knowing any details. I would stick to some sort of boundaries so that he feels like he has to chase and earn you. Don't just give him all your time. Because, like we talked about earlier, if you were here, if you do a 4, 6, 8-hour date, he can be tired, exhausted. And the other piece of these 4, 6, 8-hour dates, our brain is meant to concentrate for an hour and a half. That's why whenever you have these long meetings, you do an hour and a half, you get a break. You get a 15-minute break, you do it again. Same with dates. We can concentrate for an hour and a half as humans. So short dates. What can happen for all of you that have been on long dates? Let me tell you the tricks of man that they subconsciously know and some actually understand it. If they are trying to get laid, what they will do is have either a long date or a date that has a good amount of alcohol. If they're trying to get laid, lots of alcohol, lots of time leads to a connection and maybe looser boundaries and then sex. So let's say you're not even drinking. If you spend 8 hours together and there's lots of talking, your brain starts to turn to mush because it's been 8 hours of intense conversation. And all of a sudden, you're like, I'm enjoying this person. All of a sudden, you're kissing and things escalate. This can happen on a first date. This can happen on a second date. So be very careful with these long dates, because what tends to happen, conversation produces estrogen, produces wanting to come together, especially connections being built over that time. And we want him to chase. So be careful with, these first, second dates where it happens. Any questions around that? Okay. We're going to come back to questions in a second. Quick sales pitch. If you are looking for coaching with me, go down there and sign up for a strategy call in the description. I am trying to pick up some clients right now. We've gotten 15 people married, 83% success rate at putting single people into relationships. So come sign up for a strategy session and sign up for some coaching. Things I'm looking for in my perfect client is I want someone who has a good life. You've got your finances together. You've got a good job, good family, good friends, good social activities. And then the icing on the cake would be landing that amazing man. That's where I come in. I will teach you a process to help you with that. So if you got all that going on and dating is a high priority, give me a shout and we'll do that. All right, let's get back to Q&A. Donna, way to walk away. That is freaking hard to do. 2 years, built probably a pretty amazing life together, and you walked away. Congratulations. Proud of you. All right, why do guys get close and then when they know you really like them and want them, they pull away? Great question, Colleen. I kind of talked about this earlier. Men, once they have you, it's simple psychology, and you can call it game playing, whatever you want to call it. But we're humans. We deal with psychology. Once he's got you, he's bored. He wants to chase. Now, you can call him an idiot. You can be like, that's stupid. Why would he put in all this effort to get something and then go do the effort again? That seems inefficient. It is inefficient. But he wants that feeling. He wants that excitement of the chase. Why do we go on roller coasters? So we can go up and go flying down. That's exciting. He wants to feel that again. And if he found a great roller coaster, he's happy to go on it a few times, but ultimately he wants a different roller coaster so he gets a different experience. So that's how I can explain it. You can say they're idiots and you can be mad about it, but this is how their brain works. For some of them. There's other men that just want to do it once, and once they find a great woman, they want to stick it out with them. But the guy you're probably talking about that pulls away, he wants some new excitement. The other piece, he's entitled to change his mind. He may get wildly excited about, a man can get wildly excited about a woman. So he's excited, and then he sees something he doesn't like. He sees a value he doesn't quite agree with, and he may want to leave. Or he may decide he wants to be single. So there's a multitude of reasons, but ultimately he's changing his mind. So you can ask him about it, but if he, massively disappears, you probably don't really need to know the answer. Your brain should just go, he's not treating me well. I should be treated well. I'm moving on. I freaking rock. I don't need to deal with this crap. So next. And he messed up. Kim, that sucks. I got to ask you this. When you were getting married, were you at least happy? Or was it one of those things where you're walking up there and you're like, what the hell am I doing? Got all my friends here. I guess I'm going to do this. See, this is good. And this is true for a lot of people. When you get that ultimate safety, that ultimate security with someone, you just, want to take all your clothes off and be intimate because there's trust. So yes, that makes a lot of sense. But at some couples, not all couples, you get to that 10-year mark and you know everything about each other and every routine, you could hit a stagnant point. And what our friend Esther Perel talks about is how do we make it not stagnant? We build a little uncertainty. Hey, they're doing something different. Hey, where are they? I missed them. Hey, they left for a week. Now they're back. That little break, that excitement. I'm excited about that. All right, Julie agrees with you, G. Cool. Jenny, great question. So some of us have had trauma, myself including, in the sense where in a past relationship, someone might have been a little controlling and not allow for another party to have individual passions. And let's not totally play the victim. In my case, I didn't stand up for myself. I could have left the relationship. So first of all, it's finding the right relationship. So a relationship is a partnership, right? A partner cares about you and cares about your interests. If I am all excited, oh, by the way, Mikey got a medal playing pickleball. This is my new interest. I care about pickleball right now. I care about getting better and playing. The right partner is going to say, hey, Mike, I don't like pickleball, but go play. Go have that individual time. The wrong partner is going to say, you're spending so much time there, like it's not working. So the compromise, let's say I'm playing 3 days a week and each time for 3-4 hours. Maybe the compromise is I only play 2 times a week. Or maybe go play your 3 times a week, but Saturday night's always date night. Or I want to spend some time doing X. So it's just talking things through. But the right relationship is not, it's not necessarily compromise. It's really doing everything, having an abundant life. You shouldn't be taking things away from your partner. It should be do that, but then also I want to come together and do some stuff we love to do together. And it should be fun. It should be a chore like no pickleball, you got to go do this. No, it should be do pickleball, and then we're going to do something also fun that we're both going to love. Jenny, is that helpful? That's my happy dance. Yeah, Pat, that is a good sign. Be careful. Chatting. Although you have a false sense, this is creating a false sense of an 8-month relationship. You know more about this guy than everyone else that goes on just normal 4 dates. Be careful, because the timeline, the metrics I just gave you still apply even though you've already had 8 months with this guy. Still need to get to 6 dates, still need to get to 60 days, still need to get to 6 months, still need to get to 2 years, but live. Now, you feel like you're a little ahead of the person who normally just goes on 4 dates, didn't have the 8 months. You're going to know more about this person, but you still need to go through this process and still need to have him do the things. He may try to accelerate some of it. He may be ready to ask you to be exclusive. He may be ready to have sex because you've been having 8 months of discussion. He's going to be the gas pedal, which is great. He should be. I would lightly press the brake a little bit in a nice, fun way that works for you, if you want to make sure he gets his chase still. And this is doing him a service and doing you a service. You deserve to be courted. What may happen is if you decide to have sex and you've known each other for 8 months, both of you may miss out on the courting process. And you're missing out on him being romantic and him taking you on the dates and the honeymoon. And he's missing out on chasing you. So we need to still have these stories and still have this so that, if you guys stay together and in 6 years you're getting in a fight, you still can lean back on remember that time we hiked Machu Picchu, and remember that time I took you to dinner, and remember this. You still deserve your honeymoon and your courting, and he still deserves his chase. So let's not discount that. And because you're being a rock star and improving yourself by watching this stuff, you're going to be able to help guide him. See, the reason I coach women is a lot of men, or not as many men, decide to get self-improvement. So I want to help men. And so what I do is I coach women who in turn can relay the message to men who aren't going to watch this stuff. So Pat, you're going to make sure he gets what he doesn't know he needs, but trust me, he wants to chase you, and it'll be good for you guys in the long term. Oh boy, where am I? Let me find my spot. God, I can only imagine like walking up there going, ugh. Oh man, you gave up your life, and now are you still with the second one? Or is that one over too? Jessica, yeah. If you're doing online dating, just put like who you are. Like, I don't know what your religion is. Let's call it Christianity. Like, I love Christianity. What that looks like to me is I'm a metrics guy, so this probably isn't you, but I go to church 3 times a week and I go to Bible study once a month, and I love it and I love God, and whatever that story is, put that in your profile. And the guy who's like, ooh, I love a woman that does all that stuff, that's going to be good. So just put what you want, who you are, and the right men will respond to that. And the men that, like, I'm not into religion, they'll go a different direction. You're welcome. Hi, Sharon. Sorry, when I hop on Zoom with my clients, I hop on, we have our session, our hour session. And if we're doing Match.com, for example, my client would give me her password. I'd log into Match. Then I'd share my screen and I would help write her profile. I'd help send messages. I'd help her select men. So that's how I am involved. And then if you go on a promising date or a bad date, when our session is, or if you want to call me and talk about it, we could be on Zoom and joke around about your date. So no, I'm not on the date. We will be talking about it after, or when our session is. Hope that's helpful. So no, I will not be at the date. Hi, Glenda. The Bay. Love the Bay. For those, never mind. Yes. Can a depressed person lose interest uniquely because of their depression? 100% yes. Being very depressed, it's hard to date someone if you don't. When you're depressed, you probably are not loving yourself in that moment. And if you're not loving yourself, how are you going to love someone else? So, and they can lose interest because they've lost interest in life maybe, and they've lost interest in their passions. And if you were one of their passions, absolutely. Now, if this person is going to be long-term depressed and you're not married, and it may not be something you want to stick around for. It may be time to find someone who's not depressed. Oh, thanks, Pat. I think so too. Yeah. My stress soccer ball. It's not for stress. My pickleball wrist hurts, so I squeeze this to strengthen it. Donna. All right. This is the most, I love this because this is actually such, I can give you such valuable information based on what you just said. What I'm noticing is you said he viewed my Match profile today. The best advice I can give all of you is use my metrics. I never once said he viewed a profile in caring about that at all. Donna Dillon, I bet you are a magnificent woman. And any man would be so freaking lucky to date you. Now, if you're magnificent and some guy looked at your profile, is that courting you? Is that coming after you? Is that taking you on 6 dates? Is that going to 60 days and asking you to be exclusive? Is that 6 months where he starts talking about future plans? Is that 2 years when he's wanting, to really even further progress and he's so happy you're best friends now? That is none of that. So he didn't ask you on another date. He looked at your profile. Donna, you should be so disinterested. He should be asking you on dates. He should be trying to get to 60 days. He should be trying to get exclusive with you. If he's not doing that, like, get bored. Get bored with him and find a guy who's freaking excited about you and then pushing the needle forward. I need all of you to think like me. And that's what I built these metrics for. So in this particular instance, you don't need me. You've got these metrics. And don't care about anything else. When I'm doing coaching sessions with someone and we have to talk about a guy because we're not sure, like 99% of the time, not sure means we're wasting our time talking about him. Because I'm working with clients that are single, that are going to a relationship. In the first 2 years, it should be so freaking easy. Everything should come easy. When it's not easy, we have to talk about it. When we're talking about it, most of the time it's wrong. If this guy's checking out your account and that gets you excited, he's not doing the things he needs to be doing, which is courting the crap out of you and making you feel as special as you deserve to be. Anyway, sorry, rant over. Donna, I love you. You deserve the best. Is my video not focusing? Let's see if I can fix that. Oh, I fixed it. Yeah, go team. Becky, I love this question. A lot of folks are dealing with this too. Ask him if he's ready to date. And tell him it's okay. Tell him, let's call him John. John, your wife just died. You should not be ready to date. Any normal human would not be ready to date. And I want you to know, I care about you. And I want you to be entitled to the grieving process and entitled to dating around and doing whatever you want. So here is your get out of jail free card. If you would like some time, if you're not ready to date, I'm looking to date. Doesn't need to be you. It can be anybody. I like you. But if you need some time, go take some time. And there's no hard feelings. I want you to have it. So this is key. You're giving him the freedom to walk away. And you're also letting him know that you are freaking awesome and you're not going to put up with less. But also you're nice about it. Like, dude, go. I'll be fine. He needs to know you'll be fine so he doesn't feel the pain of letting you down. And then he can tell you how he feels. And then monitor this. So even if he tells you he's ready, ask him again in a week. Ask him again in 30 days. He can change his mind. He can think he's ready, and then 2 weeks he's not ready. So keep checking in on this, Becky. Don't have the conversation once and then in 6 months just assume it never changed. He may get triggered by seeing the favorite restaurant they used to go to or the lotion he used to use on her, and he may realize, oh shit, I'm not ready. So that's my strategy, Becky. What do you think? Hey, Australia. I studied in Perth in college. I love Australia. Oh, man. Donna. I don't know why. I mean, little extreme, but if you're totally out, like, I love it. Anyway, great boundaries. If you're like, he's not treating you the way, love it. I don't know the whole story. But if he's not treating you great and he deserved a block, I love it. And that's instant. This is instant gratification for me. Love it. Donna, you badass. Just going for it. Well, that's tough. If you're in a relationship, it's not fair to yourself to be in a relationship where you're really not in a relationship, you're just being a friend. So if there's an end in sight, that could be good. But if there's no end in sight, maybe they need to be alone and work on themselves. So, and you can be friends, and if they're open to it, you can, but maybe to be fair to yourself, you remove the relationship title and just be real friends. We want to know unfortunately, technology, growth hacking. What we know is we want people on sites. We want people on Facebook, right? So what can we tell people? We can tell them someone looked. And if we have a crush on someone, it causes us to open the site and it causes us to get excited. And it's a false sense of excitement, just like, you know, when someone likes our picture on Facebook, it's a false sense of excitement, blah, blah, blah. This continues. All it is a bunch of math guys building algorithms to get us to waste our time. So that's why. And it triggers things in our brain that get us false excited. I still use Facebook. I try not to, but. Okay. Cool. Diana, what's his trauma? Hey, Helena's here. Hi, Helena. Hi, Tom. Helena, you need a picture with Tom, too. I want to see my man, Tom. Tom is my biggest fan. He watches a lot of my videos. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Love both of you. Let's go back to this. All right, past relationship, Shauna. How can I encourage the relationship? So you're dating a guy that has some trauma. So, Diana, what's the trauma? Is this something that's affecting the relationship in a negative way? Is it really adversely affecting you and affecting him? That's causing a lot of trauma within your relationship. And so what's going on with him? What's going on with you? And what's going on as a team? So you got to analyze that. So ultimately, it comes down to pretty simple. If the relationship and the team is doing well, then you can keep moving forward. If the team and the relationship is not doing well, and this is really affecting it, you know, maybe you spend some time trying to work on it. But ultimately, if you can't find a solution in a fair amount of time, might be time to move on. You want to set somewhat black and white, somewhat gray metrics. Black and white with a little gray in the terms of like, and a lot of relationship counselors will suggest this, like, all right, we need to get to X. Like our goal is in a month, we're going to be doing this. And let's say you get almost to X. So if X is here and then in a month you get to there, so you've seen improvement, then you can keep going. That's our gray. You set the metric here, but you actually got there. That's when you can keep going in a relationship. But if you set the metric here and then basically nothing really happened, then a new conversation happens. Hey, our metric's not happening. Do you want to try this one more time? But this isn't looking good. You're getting towards my breaking point. We need to make progress on this. And so then ultimately you're making the effort, you're trying to get results, and then if not, you can leave. Hey, Denise. That's tough. I would base that on your comfort level with the guy. It really all depends on your comfort level. So I can't give you an answer. If you feel very safe around the guy, have him pick you up. If you don't feel safe, then meet him at the public place. Regardless, always make sure you're going, especially in the early dates, to public places. Thanks, Becky. He might not be fully committed to you, Belinda. But ultimately, I would ask him. There's a chance he just does it on accident, and he's so committed to you. But a lot of men do this because they're not really in. So I would ask him and see what he says, and then see what's happening. But the guy we want, Belinda, is like shouting from the rooftops, "This is my girlfriend." If Tom and Helena are still watching, Tom's holding Helena's hand when we're hanging out, and Tom's like, "This is my girlfriend. This is my woman." Like, there's never a moment where it's like, this isn't her. It's not like, oh, this is my friend Helena. No, he's blatantly clear. This is my wife. This is the one I chose. Like, don't you want to be around the guy that's like showing you off, not the guy that's like, this is my friend, I guess we're dating? Like, come on. It's not great. And that's okay. It's good that you're learning this now. Hey, Sonoma. I want some wine. I'll be up there. What? That's some serious trauma. Yeah. Advice still stands from earlier, though. Hey, Logan. My suggestion is treat this person like normal. And even if there is a Wikipedia page and so much you can learn about them, it's okay if you want to spend like 5 minutes, but I would not go crazy learning things. And then ultimately just treat them like a normal stranger, like a normal person. At the end of the day, they have a heart, they have a brain, they breathe, they eat, they poop, they sleep, they do all the things that normal humans do. So relax and just enjoy it. And even though they're famous, it doesn't mean they have similar values as you. It doesn't mean you're going to get along. So I'd get to know them and treat it like any other date. And you're a catch. And who knows if they're a catch? Just because they're a celebrity doesn't mean they're a catch. So, treat them like they start at a 0 out of 100 and see if they can get up there to where they're worth dating. That is a great question, Jenny. There are so many things to keep him chasing. All right, so let's get sex out of the way. That's done. The next thing is like, hey, I want to do a weekend away. Hey, it'd be amazing to go to this restaurant. Hey, if you play your cards right, you're going to get to meet my friends. Hey, if you play your cards right, I'll let you meet Daddy Roberts. Or if you play your cards right, you'll get to meet my sister or my brother. You keep doing well. You keep making this so special. I'm going to take you to my favorite restaurant. I'm going to take you to where I grew up. If you play your cards right, you're going to get this. So it's always like the next level of intimacy, the next level of getting to know you. So think about a stranger on a first date. He doesn't know Jenny. But this guy who, let's say you've been dating for 6 months, the next step is going to my hometown. The next step is going, hey, this is where I studied in university. Hey, this is my favorite sport. Hey, this is something I don't show anyone. I blow glass. Let me take you to do that. Hey, I play tennis. If you play your cards right, I'm going to take you to play tennis. So all those things. Cool. I mean, it doesn't matter. Just date her, treat her like a normal person. Thanks, Diana. You're welcome. Hey, Denise. That's so weird. You got stuck meeting him at his house. It's okay to say no. If someone says, hey, come to my house, and then we're going X, it's okay to say, even if you really like the guy and you feel really safe with him, hey, John, you're so awesome. I don't meet at people's house this early. Let's just meet at the coffee house, or let's just meet at the park. And if he keeps giving you pushback, you can say, maybe we should cancel the date. Or if he says, most guys, if they like you, are just going to let it go and be like, cool, I'll meet you at the park, or I'll meet you at the coffee house. Thank you. All right. So, folks, imagine what we could do together instead of in this group setting with a few hundred people, what you and I could do one-on-one in coaching. Imagine what I deliver to you. And here's what it is. I've been doing this for about 10 years. I coach people for 6 months. What happens for most people in month 3 to 4 is we get you an amazing relationship. Not an okay one, not a good one. I'm talking about amazing. What I will do is show you my process, which is basically 50-12-1. We're going to ask out 50 guys on dates. 12 of them are going to say yes. We're going to pick one. We're going to repeat that process 6 to 8 times, and you are going to find a guy that is exceptional for you. And I will show you how to do all of this. I'm going to take care of everything. I'm going to roll out the red carpet. I'm going to get you a professional photographer. I'm going to get someone to help you with outfits. It's not going to be me. I don't know outfits. I got a person for you. We're going to get you all dolled up, get the pictures taken. We're going to get the right pictures on your profile. We're going to get the right messaging for your profile. We're going to show you how to message. We'll do all of it with you. I'm not going to give you a video and say good luck. I'm going to do everything with you step by step. I'm going to be your teammate, so you don't have to do this by yourself. if you want that level of service and ultimately that level of result, which is the highest success rate in the country out of all my colleagues, go set up a one-on-one conversation with me. Right now, it is not with one of my assistants. As I'm filming this, which is live, the call is not with one of my assistants, not with one of my salespeople. It's with me. So we will chat. And if I think I can get this done for you, get you an amazing relationship, then we'll talk about the coaching program further. Now, only thing I ask, if you're going to sign up for this thing, make sure your life is good. You have friends, you have family, good career, finances are sorted, and dating is a super high priority. I want people that have it together and then are ready to invest in this with their time and their money. And then we're going to get this done once so you never have to do this again. And then we're going to high five because we got your guy. All right. Does anyone have any more questions about anything? Any more questions? Let's go. Questions. I am not in Phoenix. I am in LA, Alexander, but I work with clients all over the world as long as they speak English. I have literally helped people find relationships all over the US, Germany, England, Japan, Australia, Philippines, Vietnam, a lot of other places I can't remember. Hi, Linda. "40 minutes late." Oh my God. Denise, that is crap. 40 minutes late. Still okay to say no, but I understand. I'm glad you're safe and okay. All right, folks, there are no more questions. We've done it. Thank you for spending time with me. I cannot say enough how wonderful all your questions were, how great of a community we have. You are all so supportive of each other. And you have the best questions. You really do. Every single question was smart and led us to a good answer that I think can help women. So thank you. I love all of you. And we'll do this more often. We'll see you soon.